Dalai Lama said that the spread of ripples in a pond when a stone drops in it can have a massive reach, just as the actions of certain individuals can. Allah says, you take one step towards me, I take 10 towards you, you walk towards me, I run towards you, you plant the seed, I grow the tree, right? All the hard work is done by Him, okay? For us, it's just taking that first step. And the first step for us was 10 months ago when 15 of us met in the park, and we didn't have any idea of where this was gonna go. But the most important part of empowering is stories. And the most important story you can tell is your own story, because that's what moves people. And each and every one of you in this room has a story. You have a story of where you were last year and where you are now. And what each and every one of you need to do is home in on that story and tell that story, because that's what's going to bring people in. That's what leaders do.
My journey, it started about 3 years ago. I've always had this vision that I needed to lose weight. That was my main goal but it's been up and down. I started probably sometime in the middle of 2014. In January 2017, obviously I joined these sessions, and eventually I think a few months down the line, I think it was in either February or sometime in April, you had this nutrition seminar as well at Stanmore. I attended that, and that was really amazing. I sort of got to know a lot of things and obviously started implementing thereafter. So after obviously joining the nutrition seminar with Dr. Mahmoud and obviously Sister Arwa, my intake of fruit and vegetables is just shot up a lot. I've also tried to increase my activities, so sometimes when I get back from work, I sort of play around with the kids in the garden for about 10-15 minutes, just so that to keep my activity steps going up. And also obviously we had this 70k program, so by the time I get back from work, I look at my Fitbit, I've only done like 2,000 or 3,000 steps. So once I've had my dinner, put the kids to sleep, and that literally drove me to sort of go out for a jog or for my achievements. What I've done, I never thought I would be able to do. I've done quite a few 5-kilometer runs. Obviously they've never been sort of consistent all the way. You know, I used to sort of stop every now and then, run for about 10 minutes and then sort of walk for another 5, and then, you know, on and off. And I was fortunate enough to do about 2 months ago a 10k run in Watford. The greatest achievement, this probably may not sound a huge deal to a lot of you guys, but to me it is. 2 weeks ago, I think it was a Saturday, I went for a jog, and I literally ran continuously for 30 minutes without stopping at all. Right? And I thought that was really, really good, because I never thought I would be able to do that again. And the other funny thing also, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, what happened is I was walking somewhere, I can't remember where it was, just walking normally, and suddenly I hear some sort of metal fall on the floor. So I started looking down, I could see my wedding ring rolling away. Literally fell off my finger, so that tells me something is definitely right here. So as I stand here today, I am 20 kilos lighter than what I was. Health improvements. I had my knee surgery done quite a number of years ago, but thereafter I've always had some sort of pains going on. But obviously since I started, especially for the last 6 months, I've had, alhamdulillah, no knee pains at all. I used to suffer from back pains, obviously due to the excess weight, which I don't anymore. And I think the biggest achievement I've had since joining this group is you guys, because you're always sort of pushing me. We are sort of trying to sort of exchange ideas from each other, and the most important, obviously, I've met a lot of new faces, which I see quite a lot today.
So the eyes are on you now, right? The eyes are on you. You've done this, so people now will be looking upon you, at you, and asking you about how we take this forward. Okay, about how you do things. You've done it. Look back, pick someone else up. Each one, teach one. Okay, that's how we roll from here. Second thing is vision. If you're going to bring people in, what's the reason you're doing this? What's your vision? Do you know what my vision is? My vision is that inshallah, our community and communities around the world, we can pray standing up when we're 80 years old. My vision for our community and our communities around the world is that as we grow older, we're not dependent on other people. And you know, in our community, my vision is that as we get older, the amount of chairs at the back actually go down as opposed to going up. So my question to you is, what's your vision? Because you need such a clear vision if we're going to take this forward next year. And the third thing is beliefs. You see, I think sometimes that we're negative by default, and our community very much so sometimes, that we're brought up with really negative beliefs when it comes to health. You see, if you went in your garden and you wanted to get rid of the weeds, and if you cut them, they'd grow back, right? You've got to get rid of them from the roots. We've got beliefs like you're going to get unhealthy when you get older. You're going to have to sit on the chair when you get older. You know, you're going to be dependent when you get older. You can't exercise when you get older. You can't run when you get older. How can we prosper with beliefs like this? But the only way these beliefs can change is by each and every one of you going out there, empowering them with your stories, becoming a leader, and having your vision. That's how we can change beliefs. The elephant, right? And yet you go to a circus sometimes, and the largest of animals is actually held back by a tiny little chain, which even if he wanted to with his foot, he could flick off, but he never does, because he knows inside he can't. But he can't really, right? Because when he was younger, they put that little chain on him and he couldn't escape. But as he got older, he believed that that chain wouldn't let him go. So even now, he still believes the chain won't let him go. So he's held in, even though the animal has grown, the chain hasn't. But it's all about belief, right? And if we want to penetrate our community, we've got to become leaders, we've got to have vision, and we've got to change our beliefs. And how is it that we can move on this next year to bring our loved ones and to bring our friends within this movement, whatever they do, but just to get our community, our friends, and our loved ones healthy? And after thinking about it, I think it comes down to three things. I think it comes down to leadership, I think it comes down to our vision, and I think it comes down to our beliefs. You see, each and every one of you here is a leader. I know that, and you know that. And what is a leader? A leader is someone who empowers, pushes, and motivates someone else. But the most important part of empowering is stories. And the most important story you can tell is your own story, because that's what moves people. And each and every one of you in this room has a story. You have a story of where you were last year and where you are now. And what each and every one of you need to do is home in on that story and tell that story, because that's what's going to bring people in. That's what leaders do.